యథార్థం నీకు వెనకాల ఉంది, లోపల ఎక్కడో ఎక్కడో లోపల ఉంది, రైట్? అది అనుభవంలో ఉంది కానీ మాటల్లో లేదు, చేతల్లో లేదు, ఎక్కడా లేదు. English, I'm sorry. Say it, buddy. That's a good one. Yeah, my bad. Talking Telugu. Pretty much completed that. So pratyaksha pramanyamu, anumana pramanyamu. So each of these pramanyas have the significance in terms of how you look at it, how you observe it, how you correlate them together, right? So when it comes to truth, it becomes more an object to the reality as to how to correlate and how to look at it. But what is that one thing that talks about truth all the time is the Shabda Prama. Because it's the Veda and the Vedanga. Right? Vedanta talks about that Pramanyam of what is truth is all about. Because you cannot feel it, right? You can only experience truth. You cannot see it, you cannot hear it, you cannot read about it, you cannot talk about it. The only way to do it is to kind of go through that practice. That's why the Shabda Pramanya gives you the narration of it. And then Shabda Pramanya also means that some gurus, right? Some truth realizers who have gone through this process in their lives, how did they go through it? How did they achieve it? How did they become it, right? When they talk about it, that's when you kind of take those inferences and then you try to make it something reasonable, right, for yourself. That's where Patriji comes, right? Patriji gave that Shabda Pramanya because once he realized the truth for himself, he started talking about it, through which we all came to know about truth, and we said, okay, that's a Shabda Pramanya, right? I need to take that, I need to go do this. So now where are we is you have completed the sadhana process, you became a sadhaka, you took the pramanya, right? And then you understood what the real truth is all about, how do you go, where do you get it, and all that. Then comes the practice of it, Shravana. So once you understand what truth is about, you need to start to listen about truth. Listen. Keep listening. Truth is something that you cannot understand, you cannot comprehend. Neither your senses nor your mind can understand truth. The only way truth gets to you is you got to listen 1,000 times. Keep listening until you get to a point where you say that I am done. Right? Even after that, you should listen one more time.
What do you want to do?
Truth. Atman. Soul. The soul. Right? You want to learn about how the whole world is forming, who are you, where are you coming from, why are you here, all that, everything related to the truth, right? You want to keep listening to that, to understand why you are here, what are you doing, what is your purpose, are you the body, are you the mind, are you the intelligence, are you the soul, what are you, right? All that process, right, going through the journey is where you do the Shravana, listening. Then what you listen, you need to repeat itself in your daily lives. And this is where most of us fall off, right? First of all, listening is not there for everybody. You don't listen to truth because it's a dry subject, right? Something that your senses cannot comprehend it, you cannot hold on to. So it requires a lot of, that's why you have to be a jignasa, a true, you want to I really want to know the truth, kind of aspirations, right? Yeah. Otherwise, you will not be able to hold on to that truth. It'll come, it'll go. This manana process is where it actually creates that shodhana for you. That process of somebody talking about it, and now you are trying to understand from your own, way of looking at it, right? Everybody has got their own way of looking at things, right? Now you are, whatever has been taught about by the gurus, by the scriptures, whatever pramanya, now you are taking that into consideration and you're trying to look at it and say, okay, how do I make it a reality for me, for you? In that manana process, you get a lot of these questions. Now we should understand why when you go to somebody who is realized soul, they say, ask questions. The expectation is, if you are not asking questions, then you are not doing manana. A person who actually does mananam will always have questions. Because what is there, you are trying to look at it from your view, you will certainly have questions. If you don't have questions about truth, then you don't get it. You're just not there. Right? So what they do is they want to know who you are. If I want to know what knowledge you bring to the table, you need to open your mouth. Right? You cannot come and say, all is good. All is good. If all is good, then why are you here? Right? So that's why they expect, right? When you go to anybody, realized souls, when say, okay, how is it going? If you have any questions, that is the time to ask. Based on the type of question and how you are posing it, they will know what state you are in. Without mananam, there is no nididhyasana. There is no contemplation. Because the process, once you start to look at the truth, aham brahmasmi, what is this aham brahmasmi? How do I relate this aham brahmasmi to me? Why is that scriptures are talking about aham brahmasmi? Where do I relate that? In what part of my system I do relate it? On one side, they are saying that you're not the body, you're not the mind, you're not intelligence, you are soul. On the other side, they are saying everything is Brahman. What is this? On one side, they say aham brahmasmi. On the other side, they say tattvamasi. So everything is Brahman, then my body should also be Brahman, right? How do you get this question? When you go through your own process. It's not like I'm giving it to you. It's like you need to go through your own process of relating it and trying to see how this makes sense and all. You write down all that. In that contemplative process, when you start to bring that into practice through meditation, you will get these solid 5-6 questions, right? And then in the meditation, if you want to get answers to that, then you go to savikalpa samadhi, sampragnana, asampragnana. Samadhi is 2 phases, sampragnana, asampragnana. Right? Patanjali talks in Yoga Sutras, right, about specific aspects of it, how you become sampragnana. There are again 4 stages in that. How do you viveka, vichara? He goes into the deeper ananda state of it. And then he's asmati state. Right? How do you know everything? You kind of become into those states one after other. You get into the samadhi, savikalpa. You try to get answers. You try to kind of think through it, try to look at it from different perspectives, and then you go deeper. Then you get into a internal ananda, right? That the real happiness will kick in for you, and then you go much deeper. The only thing that leaves you at that point is sattvika ego, aham. Sattvika aham. Savikalpa samadhi sthiti, the last state is sattvika aham. You're not there yet. You're not in the nirvikalpa sthiti. You are in the savikalpa sthiti. So mind is still there. I is still there. Ego is still there. But you are in the very deep state of meditation. You pose these questions to universe, right? And say, hey, I want to know this answer. Right? Sometimes masters come and talk to you. Sometimes you get answers institutionally. Whatever way you look at it, you will try to get answers to all of that. This process will happen, and then from there you actually go into the nirvikalpa sthiti. Right? Nirvikalpa sthiti is where the actual thing is you are becoming one with everything. Right? Again, you go through this, all these states, and then you become that, from the nirbija bija. So it's called 2 phases, right? Samadhi has got savikalpa, nirvikalpa. It is also called bija, nirbija. You become the nirbija, right? Where you have become aligned with the universe. It's called dharma meda samadhi. That's the last and ultimate samadhi where you have transcended beyond the universe, the realm of universe. It's the highest state one can get in meditation. So as you keep contemplating, hearing about the truth, practicing mananam happens. In that process, you go into the savikalpa sthiti, you ask those questions, you get responses, whatever way it is. Slowly you develop yourself into that state and you get that sakshatkara in the nirvikalpa sthiti. Then you become one with that thing what you are looking for. At that point, there is nothing to talk, nothing to, because you are that. I am that I am. Happens at that state. This is a journey. Now each of us have to relate to see where we are in this journey. Some of us are in the sadhaka state, some of us are in the nididhyasana, some of in the sakshatkara state. So every pyramid master in the PSM society, you can connect them where they are. Now, there are a lot of folks in the PSM who are not in the truth at all. They don't know truth at all, right? They are in the body, mind level. That is not true. So it is all about how you relate and how you bring that truth into your life. That is all what we cover. Health benefits, my, whatever, right? I have this problem. I need a solution to this. These are all the side benefits of meditation. The side effects of meditation, it's called side effects. They are not the purpose of meditation. The purpose of meditation is to go become a sadhaka, go through that learning of the truth, identify those aspects, what will help you to become that one thing that you're looking for, realize the purpose of your life, why you are here, and start to teach to everybody. So when you start to correlate with the truth, you got to look at it from multiple different perspectives. Don't just look at it from, hey, I'm here just to feel happy, right? The happiness that you're looking out, the happiness that we all look out, is the happiness, we are talking the other day about happiness. That what we talk about is very, very simplistic happy. Right? Hey, if I get something, I'm happy. Right? You got a job, you're happy. Right? You got your salary hike, you get a job. You got a promotion, you're happy. Kids go to school, you're happy. Kids got promoted. There are things that you always look for happiness, right? The ways and means for you to materially be happy. But that is outer happiness. That's not the real happiness. Where is the real happiness? Inside. The real happiness comes to you by giving. What does it mean by giving? When you tell somebody something and they bring that into their life and they change their life and they come and tell you that, hey, this has really helped me, it has changed my life. The happiness that you see within that person makes you happy. That is the real happiness, giving. It is in the giving that happiness should be. What scriptures talk about is that happiness is a real happiness because that's coming from inside. It's not something that's coming from outside. You should be happy in giving. Even charity is giving. But then you cannot be bonded by the charity, right? Because you are giving something and you're expecting something out of it. That is not real happiness, right? Because, hey, I'm going to give you $1,000, but then my kid needs a local seat. No, that's like it's a transaction. It's a business. So that is not happiness. So what we are all used to as a non-meditators or in material life is we are very well used to this happiness outside. And that's why we are all masked. Right? We are all masked. The reason we are all masked is there is a real face of each of us inside that we hide. We don't show it to anybody. And every moment we feel about it. You don't want to show it to anyone. How's life, buddy? Awesome. How can it be really awesome? Talk. But then inside, So once you bring this meditation into your life, once you start to embrace it, once you get to the truth and all that, there is no more hiding. There is no two-level talks. What you talk, what you do, what you preach or teach, everything is aligned to one. Truth alone. That's it. That's why Patriji says, become the truth lover. If you don't become the truth lover, you will never be able to get out of this suffering, this samsara, suffering. Truth alone can pull you out of suffering. Truth alone. There is nothing else. So if you're not a truth lover, if truth is not your priority, you have your family work coming, you have your daily job coming, you have your duties coming, right? Not that you should not do it, but his point is find time for truth as well, because that alone can pull you out of this suffering. If you are saying that truth, oh, in my house, truth is in the kitchen, that top layer kitchen, I put a truth there, you will never be able to get that, right? How many times, right, you keep stuff in your closets and you don't even look for a month or 2 months, right? You don't even look back for that for 2-3 months. If that's where your truth is, you're far, far away from everything. Suffering is inevitable. Right? It's a long answer, but I hope I covered pretty much. Yeah. So start to look at it that way, right? I mean, it's not about practice. It's not about one thing. It's about bringing the holistic picture. Embrace that spirituality in your material life. That way your material life is peaceful. So it's all 50-50, balance that. Make sure that you have opportunities to do sadhana. Make sure that you have opportunities for reading some good books where truth, it's all about truth. Again, what books you read, what your knowledge you gain, if it is a fictional, if it is something that is non-truth, it's going to stick in your mind. For you to get rid of that, you may have to do 1,000 hours of meditation. So be very careful what you're bringing into your mind. What comes into your mind stays in mind for a long, long time. It is not easy to get rid of mind just like that. Getting rid of a thought itself takes so much time, one thought, right? Now you're talking about getting rid of mind itself. Any other questions? This will tell, right? Nididhyasana, manana, sadhana, where are you?
I have a question.
No push, but yeah, please. Go ahead.
So when we have thoughts and that thought is something, it's not a very pleasant thought, how do we replace it with good thoughts? Like it's coming over and over again.
So the easiest way to do that, so how do you, when you're getting negative thoughts, right? Repeatedly, you're getting same negative thought all the time. How do I replace it, right? So the best way to do that is to replace that thought immediately within that 5 seconds with a positive note, right? And then attach some divinity to it, right? Some name, some God, whatever you want to call that, right? Or some power you want to give, Om, something like that, right? You give that higher energy syllables, whatever it is, attach it to the positive thing, what you're saying, within that time frame, right? So that it's not, see, it takes about a cycle to reach the universe, right? Whatever we are saying, astrally. So before that time, if you're able to cycle it back, and then you replace that with a positive thing, whenever, see, that consciousness, that awareness we should have. That awareness, what we need to have is to be aware that I am constantly bringing this negative thought, and I need to start to replace it with the positive thought. That's not the ultimate thing, but that's a start.
Okay.
Did it answer?
Yeah, thank you. And regarding Dhyanam is the best way for service. So how about no, Dhyanam is the best way to share knowledge, right?
Correct.
So what about service? Like if somebody is not in a materialistic way, if somebody needs like to be taught something, or if somebody needs a drop, you're taking that time to it's like a service that you are taking the time to do it. So how does that work?
So do you know the person or you don't know the person?
I know the person,
Okay. See,
but
if
I'm
you
ready to
know,
do it for someone out of if somebody tells me that is my friend, but they need this kind of help where they want to be dropped, like if you're going that way every day, they might need a drop. Can you accommodate?
that is not service at all. Yeah. That is like more like an obligation, right? You're serving, I'm dropping somebody, I'm picking up somebody, because see, that somebody who we are doing service today, they will do service tomorrow for us, right? The seva or the service that we are talking about is you going and doing to some unknown person. And
Okay.
you are actually making that unknown person self-sufficient. That is the real seva. What does it mean? Self-sufficient means you are giving him the peace. You are showing him the path towards the peace, path towards realization, path towards happiness, right? And you are not attached to it. He's not coming to you all the time. He just came to you one time. You actually show him that, hey, this is how you come out of your miseries, and you go do your thing. So that's why dhyana or gnana, they become that highest level of sevas, because you are making that individual or individual soul independent. He is no longer dependent. It is more than your annadana, because annadana, you are giving them money for them to do the service, but then once that he comes and he probably eats at the place, 2 days later he will be hungry again. He will have the hunger, right, coming back, so he has to come back again. So the dependency is still there in that process. So when you look at the spiritual seva, it is that highest level, because you're making those individuals independent. Now, there is also a question that was asked last time, right? Hey, what does it mean when I do service to my family or my near and dear or my extended, family? That is all part of karma. That is nothing to do with seva.
Hmm.
It's totally karma.
Okay, yeah, got it. Thank you.
ఇందాక నెగిటివ్ థాట్స్ అన్నారు, నెగిటివ్ థాట్స్ వచ్చినప్పుడు పాజిటివ్ థాట్స్ చెప్పేస్తాను. సో అలా చేస్తున్నప్పుడు సో నెగిటివ్ థాట్స్ మళ్ళీ మళ్ళీ వస్తూనే ఉంటాయి. అది మెడిటేషన్లో రాకముందు అది తప్పని తెలియదు కాబట్టి అది కోపం రాకపోవడం ఇప్పుడు అది తప్పు అని తెలుసు. సంఘర్షణ స్టార్ట్ అయింది. తప్పు చేస్తున్నాను ఒక రకమైన గిల్ట్. సో అది బిల్డప్ అయింది. దాన్ని ఎలా మార్చుకోవాలి?
ఇప్పుడు గిల్ట్ ఫార్మేషన్ కి వాట్ ఈస్ ద రీజన్?
తప్పు చేస్తున్నాను అని తెలిసింది కదా.
అదే అంటే ఏంటి రీజన్? గిల్ట్ అనేది లోయెస్ట్ ఎనర్జీ, రైట్? లోయెస్ట్ ఫార్మ్ ఆఫ్ ఎనర్జీ. అంటే అతి కింద స్థాయిలో ఉన్న ఎనర్జీ. అతి కింద స్థాయిలో ఉన్న ఎనర్జీ లెవెల్ కి నేను వచ్చానంటే అర్థం ఏంటి? పాజిటివ్ ఎనర్జీ చేయడానికి ఏం కావాలి? సో యూ హావ్ ద ఆన్సర్.
ఇంకొకటి, ఇప్పుడు నీది చూసుకెళ్ళేటప్పటికి మనం దాన్ని కూడా చూస్తూ ఉండాలి. దానికి కూడా రియాక్ట్ అవ్వకూడదు, దాన్ని కూడా చూడాలి. మనం ఆ మైండ్ లో జరిగేది కూడా ఒక స్థానం లాగా, దాన్ని చూడటమే మనం. అది కూడా ఒక
అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఆవిడ అడిగిన క్వశ్చన్ ఏంటంటే, యాజ్ యు ఆర్ అంటే ట్రూత్ లెవెల్లో కాదు, అదేంటంటే బాడీ మైండ్ లెవెల్లో అడిగారు కాబట్టి. సో బాడీ మైండ్ లెవెల్లో నేను ఏం చేయాలి అంటే, బాడీని మీరు ఏం చేయలేరు. మైండ్ ని ఏం చేయాలి అంటే, మైండ్ విల్ ఓన్లీ కామ్ ఇఫ్ యూ బ్రింగ్ information to it that it cannot comprehend. So when meditation lo కూర్చున్నాను అనుకోండి, తదేక దృష్టి, you bringing back to your breath, your mind weakens, right? Or you bring your mind closer to truth. Whatever mind does not understand, it will say, go ahead buddy, this is not my area. The reason why meditation works for mind, why meditation calms mind, we can talk about, it's a two branches, your breath, your mind, they all come from your heart source. It's a two branches of the same tree. If you are with the breath, your mind also all that is good. But there is also other aspect what scriptures talk about is a very clear fact that whatever you do, your mind doesn't understand, it cannot play. Truth, mind cannot understand. So it will stop. Okay, what is this? What do I do? Okay, this, I've never seen this. You're talking about stuff that I don't understand. Where do I go? It will become still. It will calm down. The chattering, the whole, whatever is going on here, it will slow down. That's why when you connect with truth, that's why you sleep. When we talk about Vedanta, why you sleep? Because your mind cannot understand. Mind says, okay, auto cruise, buddy. This is the time to take a nap, let's go for it. 1 hour gap, just, relax, let him talk, he'll talk. let him do his part. After that, we'll say, yeah, absolute, thank you very much. What registered? Zero. The reason for that is, if mind cannot understand what possibly we are putting it out there, truth it cannot understand. So what happens? Mind goes havoc, and then it slows down. The more you connect yourself to the truth, the more you are taking out your mind. The more you are doing meditation, the more you are taking out your mind. Because whatever is happening in meditation, your mind doesn't understand. So what mind is doing is it keeps bringing. And the goal of meditation, nirvishayam manaha. Right? You want to annihilate the mind. That is your purpose. But mind will also fight back. That's the reason you have this friction when you sit for meditation as a beginner, that you cannot possibly get out of your mental state of thoughts. The third state, right? The third body will give you a lot of, this will happen for some time, quite some time. Depends on how much power you already gave to your mind. Right? So with that as a reality, that as a backdrop, right? If you start to look at it, the way you want to look at it is, okay, something like guilt, something like anxiety, some of these things are coming my way means your energies, you are in the lower frequencies. So it's an indication for you that, hey, I need to bring back myself into higher frequencies. How do I do that? Meditation. So as you keep doing meditation, what we are looking at is an alternate way. I don't have time to do meditation, but yet I don't want this situation. It is, there is no easy mantra, there is no one size fits all. Right? You got to either go through this way, pain, or go through pain in doing meditation, right? Where you are holding your mind and saying that sit.
So we'll reach a place where we don't get thoughts at all.
You will reach, no thought state.
I still get thoughts.
If you don't get it, then we should be surprised. I mean, you should be like, see, it's a lifetime of thoughts, right? It's not one thought, lifetime of thoughts. There are so many lives, right? We were talking last week about this, right? You all know about Lal Bahadur Stadium. I was giving an example. Lal Bahadur Stadium, there is like trash. It's filled with trash. Imagine that LB Stadium is your mind, right? So much of trash, thoughts, trash is there. And you sat 2 hours in meditation today, you probably released 20 thoughts or 30 thoughts, right? How many more are left?
సో సార్ మనం ఇలా కూడా అర్థం చేసుకోవచ్చా, లైక్ ఈ థాట్స్ మనం మెడిటేషన్ లో కూర్చున్నప్పుడు ఈ థాట్స్ ఏవైతే వస్తున్నాయో సర్ఫేస్ మీదకి, సో దీస్ ఆర్ ద థాట్స్ విచ్ వి ఆర్ రిలీజింగ్.
Exactly. That is what is happening. Exactly.
Yeah.
The emotions, the ascension process is not happening overnight. Right? The ascension process is a journey. It's a 15-step or 20-step process. In that process, there are emotional, outbursts that come through you. There are mood swings that happen to you. All of these are coming out to you in this ascension process when you sit for meditation, right?
Yeah.
So whatever you're talking is that process, right? There are emotions that are stuck in your inner plane. They have to come out. You are holding it today, right? We talked about the two-coined face, or one coin, two faces. That other face has those emotions inside. You're holding them. You're holding them. The other way to look at it is, hey, do I want to go and kind of fight with them and all that, right? That's why there is no point in fighting with karma. You will always lose. There is absolutely no way you can release the karma. You release the karma, karma will come back again. Karma means doing. No matter which way you look at it, the karma will come back to you until you come to a point where you become akarma. Right? The doer is no longer there. Then you are fine. Until that point, the karma will keep happening. So there is no point in releasing karmas. I want to release this karma, I want to release this karma. You release it, something else will come in space. It is only the point where you have to come above that karma, the process of karma. Karma is happening at the body mind level. You got to come above that, the truth. When you touch the truth, soul does not have karma. Right? So you have to become this, so that you look at top down and say, okay, whatever is happening, let it happen. I'm not the one doing it, it's not for me. Then you are relieved from karma.
సార్ ఇందాక స్వప్న గారు అడిగిందంటే నాకు అంటే ఐ ఆల్సో ఫేస్ దిస్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ సిచ్యువేషన్ లైక్ ఏదో నెగిటివ్ థాట్స్ వస్తుంటే అరే నాకు ఎందుకు ఇలా నెగిటివ్ థాట్స్ వస్తున్నాయని చెప్పి గిల్ట్ ఫీల్ అవుతుంది. అంటే కెన్ అండర్స్టాండ్ ఇట్ ఇస్ అ ప్యాటర్న్ దట్ ఈస్ ప్రెసెంట్ ఇన్ మీ విచ్ ఇస్ కమింగ్ అప్ అండ్ ట్రై టు అండర్స్టాండ్ దట్ ప్యాటర్న్ అండ్ బ్రేక్ దట్ ప్యాటర్న్. సో అలా కూడా తీసుకోవచ్చు కదా సార్?
Yeah, absolutely. It all depends upon how you look at it, right?
And mind funny thoughts produce చేయటం దాన్ని మనం కంట్రోల్ చేయలేము. So just you have to observe that thought.
Yeah.
Don't think about that thought. That's what we have to do. Usually people under control చేయాలి, mind control చేయాలి. That is the protein. Even the highest medicals, correct me if I write wrong. Even though people are in the highest states like samadhi sthiti, even though they are there, the rishis and all, their mind will produce the thoughts, but they don't attach to the thoughts. That's why Shiva always in the meditation state. That's why mind funny and like how the Srushti lo nunchi like produce అవుతూ ఉంటుందో సృష్టిలో నుంచి శూన్యంలో నుంచి అలా మన మైండ్ కూడా ప్రొడ్యూస్ చేస్తుంది. దాని మీద పెట్టకూడదు.
Being an observer.
Observer, yeah, it local. That is the samadhi sthiti. Samadhi sthiti means like you observe, just observe.
Nature should not be more important to me.
Yeah.
Correct. See that there are two aspects here. That there is an aspect at a plane of mind, and there is an aspect that we are talking about truth that is beyond mind. Okay. Now we talk about this, Gita's yadbhavam tadbhavati, right? Mind is very, very powerful. There is one thing in this entire universe that is powerful, that is, almighty powerful is mind. Okay. You can make anything happen through mind. There is no doubt about it. Okay. Except for truth. Okay? Except for truth, you can get anything through your mind. Yadbhavam tadbhavati yamatihi sa gatir bhavet. You will be able to realize anything that you want in this material world, but not the truth. Okay, that we have to clearly understand. So I want to use my mind to get material benefit. I want to use my mind power to do this, that. That is not spiritual. That has nothing to do with spiritual. You go do whatever you want to do with your mind. Right? Now, where it comes, right? But if I am doing this part where I am using my mind today to do things, right? Astral travel, okay, third eye, right? I want to go do deeper, telepathies, right? All these cities are at this level, mind. at mind level, right? Because you are performing them, you are enjoying the fruits of your labor, right? And then you are doing all that. This is a distraction that, I mean, if you say Almighty, God, Atman, Brahman, whatever you call, right? He or she created this distraction to make sure that you are not walking towards him. He's testing you. Universe tests you to see that if you are getting these 5, 6, Ashta, Dasa Siddhi, right? 18 Siddhis. If you go for that, anybody who goes in the spiritual path, who have done a little deeper penance, will get attached to these siddhis. I mean, it's not attached, it's like you get these siddhis. The question is, are you using these siddhis or not? This is a distraction. It's like you left your main path and you're going in the sideways. That is the siddhis. This is all mine. Okay? Why do I want to show my siddhi to someone else? Because there is I in me. That's saying that I am superior than all of you. So I want to show you. Satvika, spiritual ego. So what happens at that point? I go to the lowest level of frequency after that. I can show because I have it, I did it, and all the drama goes on. You accumulate a lot of karma. You fall like down, right? So with this mind, you can do a lot of things. But that has nothing to do with the truth. So if I am doing, like, Bhairava Tantra talks about 112 practices, right? You probably have read it, right? Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, 112 practices, out of which the first 7 or 9 talk about breath practices. The first one that talks about is Anapanasati, the first one. We need to understand why I have to use my breath. Why I should use my breath? Right? Why can't I use a candle? Why can't I use an idol? Why can't I use a name or a form? Why is that I cannot use? 2 reasons. What happens if you use anything other than your breath? The first reason is you are empowering your mind. In the context of truth, if you are using any other technique other than the technique of truth, Anapanasati, what happens is you are empowering your mind. Your power of mind is going up like crazy. Because continuously you're watching the light. Who is watching? Mind is watching. Continuously you're repeating the nama. Or you're looking at the idol. Or you're looking at whatever the technique that you are using. Who is the one doing it? It's the mind doing it. Number 1. Number 2, this goes up, you will never get to truth. Forget truth. If your mind is all powerful for you, getting rid of this is not going to be easy. As is, getting rid of mind is not an easy task. On top of it, you put it in the 5th floor. It is going to be almost... So truth is far away for individuals who are doing techniques that help to empower mind. Hence, you get all this. Along with this, you will also have suffering.
Sir, a question. అంటే ఎప్పుడు దీనికి ఎప్పుడు అసలు క్వశ్చన్ నాకు ఆన్సర్ కాలేదన్నమాట. సార్ ఇప్పుడు మనం అబ్జర్వ్ చేసే మన బ్రెత్ కూడా మన మైండ్ ద్వారా ఉంటుంది సార్. అండ్ అట్ ది సేమ్ టైం ఇప్పుడు నామా జపం చేసినా కానీ వాటికి కూడా వీఆర్ యూజింగ్ ఆర్ మైండ్ అని చెప్పేసి లోపల మంత్ర జపం చేసుకుంటూ ఉంటాం. అంటే సాధారణంగా ఏం చెప్తారంటే సార్, ధ్యానము అంటే వీఆర్ యూజింగ్ సంథింగ్ యాజ్ అన్ యాంకర్ టు బ్రింగ్ బ్యాక్ అవర్ మైండ్ టు వన్ పర్టికులర్ థింగ్ ఇన్స్టెడ్ ఆఫ్ 1000. ఆ యాంకర్ ని ఉపయోగించుకుంటాం, ఆ తర్వాత యాంకర్ పోతుంది, నువ్వు పోతాం, ధ్యానంలోకి వెళ్ళిపోతాం మనం అని చెప్పేసి అంటారు. సో సార్ ఎందుకు అంటే సో వెన్ యూఆర్ యూజింగ్ ఈవెన్ ఆర్ మైండ్ టు అబ్జర్వ్ ది బ్రెత్, ఎందుకు సార్ ఈ బ్రెత్ కి మన ఆనాపానసతికి అంత సుపీరియారిటీ మనం ఎందుకు ఇస్తాం? బికాస్ ఐ డోంట్ నో, నాకు ఏంటంటే ఓకే బ్రెత్ అంటే మనం పక్కన వేయించుకోవడం అసలు లేదు, హ్యాపీగా మనం బ్రెత్ అబ్జర్వ్ చేసుకుంటూ హ్యాపీ కూర్చోవచ్చు కదా అని. సో ఐ జస్ట్ కేమ్ టు దిస్ టెక్నిక్. నాకు ఎప్పుడు వేరే దారిలో వెళ్ళలేదు, నాకు తెలియదు కూడా.
Right.
Sort of curiosity.
So it's a good question, right? Why do I need to do Anapanasati for truth, right? Why did Patriji or Buddha, or Krishna talk? Nasagrasigare Bhumajja Drushtva, Bhagavad Gita talks about it. Why do I need to do that? Is the one thing that you said, right? The doer, the doing, and the result of it have to become one. In the name of truth, right? That's what happens. So whatever the technique I'm choosing, that technique should also dissolve in the process of going to truth. If that technique is still existing, then my mind still exists. Because who is the one that's holding the technique? My mind. So if you have an idol, right? You look at idol, your mind is looking at idol. At what point the idol is dropping? There is no point the idol is dropping. In your entire meditation, you sit for 6 hours, the idol is still there, the mind is still there. In fact, you're powering your mind with that idol power, right? In case of breath, what happens is, at some point, the breath also dissolves alongside with mind. That's called meditative state, right? So, at that point, there is only the doer. Everything else, the medium, everything that's holding, everything is gone. Keep doing it, even the doer will get dissolved. Become one with ultimate reality, right?
Sure.
That is the reason this method works. The technique should also dissolve in the process, right? Pranena baddhate manaha, manasa baddhate pranaha. Prana and manasa controlled, right? Prana controls mind, mind controls prana. When you are with the breath, they both tangle each other, they become one, and they both dissolve. Then you experience truth. Until there is somebody sitting in this system, you will not experience truth. You will go closer to the truth, but you will not experience truth. Because today I have identified myself as somebody, right? I am so and so, I am doing so and so, I am living here so and so, I have family of so and so. That so and so has to die. Basically, that's what I'm saying. So I should, from somebody, I should become nobody. Then I am truth. When I have no identity for myself, the identity of I is now I am. Right? When that I am comes in my life, that's when you become the reality. So if I am using any other technique other than this technique that dissolves itself in the process, you are not true. That is not truth. That's like, it's there. It will help you to do whatever you want to do. Get siddhis, go tell everybody that I got this, I got that, I am doing this, I am doing that. All the drama will continue for next generations, lifetimes, etc. And then you are going away from northward, southward. You're going southward. You just don't know it. So, irrespective of who does what, at some point, they have to come towards the path of truth. Towards the path of truth. If you come towards the path of truth, this is the technique. The yoga, I mean, other techniques are there. Kundalini, a lot of other yogic practices are there which can bring you to the reality, but this is one of the easiest way where you are not really going through the yogic practices, right? The very rigorous practices, but yet are able to realize in your family life the truth just like that. Go ahead.
So basically, the rituals, the prayers, the pilgrimages, the fast, they may be able to like bring you closer to the truth, but then they cannot give you the final truth.
Correct.
These are all starting tools.
Good question.
సార్ ఇంకో క్వశ్చన్ కూడా జరుగుతుంది సార్. ఏంటి అంటే సో యూనివర్స్ మనకి ఇచ్చే టెస్ట్ సార్ ఈ అంటే నేను ఈ మధ్య నాకు కొంచెం అర్థమవుతున్న ప్రకారం ఏంటంటే యూనివర్స్ ఏం మనకి టెస్ట్ పెట్టదు, మనమే డీవియేట్ అవుతూ ఉంటాము. యూనివర్స్ డజంట్ అంటే ఇప్పుడు సాధారణంగా మనం ప్రీవియస్ మూవీస్ లో చూసిన కర్మ సిద్ధాంతాలు ఇవన్నీ చూసినా కానీ ఇంద్రుడు వస్తాడు, కావాలని ఆ ఋషిని చెరగొడతాడు, తన జ్ఞానాన్ని భంగపరుస్తాడు, తనకి ఏదో శక్తులు వస్తాయి అని చెప్పేసి అట్లా అనుకుంటారు సార్. అది నిజమేనా సార్? లేదు అంటే కనుక మనమే పట్టుకుని అనవసరంగా మనలో ఉన్న హైషెడ్ వర్గాలకు మనమే డివేట్ అవుతామా? Because universe is always love. అంటే it always shows love. It always wants you to come into it, dissolve in it. and ఎప్పుడు అది ఎదురు చూస్తూ ఉంటుంది అని చెప్పేసి అలా.
ఎట్లా అంటే రెండు రకాలుగా ఉంటుంది. నేను చేస్తున్నాను అన్నప్పుడు మనోబుద్ధి అహంకారం కదా, చిత్తం, రైట్, అంతఃకరణం. సో వెన్ యు ఆర్ టాకింగ్ ఎట్ ఎ బాడీ లెవెల్, you have these egos, you have all these, right? Harishad Vargana, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Asana. On one side, we talk about meditation, we talk about truth, we talk about all this. On the other side, we still have this, right? It's like you're hanging on to this and this. Sometimes you are here, Sattva, Suddha Sattva Guna. Sometimes you are in the Tamo Rajo Guna, right? This state keeps changing depending upon how you look at things and all, right? So either way, right, whether it is coming through your practices at an attachment of body mind, or you may imagine that universe may be testing me, the outcome is saying that you will have to go through that process. That churning has to happen within you to understand how to release those low hanging energies. It is, see, that's why it's journey. That's why we say it's a journey, right? When you look at it top down, it is universe testing you. When you look at it bottom up, it is you going through it. But the process of going through it is inevitable. No matter, we get stuck in the form of things that, hey, somebody affect, right? The cause is something. The cause is for you to let go of those low hanging energies. That's the cause. But we are stuck in the effect. And we look at, oh, this is why it happened. That is why it happened. The happening is because of that. You got to let go of the thing. That's a big picture. Because I don't have the view of the big picture, I relate myself to these small effects, whatever is coming by. So to your question, right? It is the effect that is making you feel like, I need to go through this, or I have been tested by it. Actually, what is happening is you are trying to go in this journey. See, as you go, right, from Hyderabad to Delhi, you got to, every town, you got to go through the town, and then the town is on the back, right? Similarly, these low-hanging things, as you go higher up in your higher energies, these low-hanging things, they have to fall off at some point. So when they are falling off from the process, the journey is happening, you will be tested. It's not test, it's like you're going through that, but your mind is not prepared yet. Right? And that's when you feel like, I've been pushed, something that I don't have now. I'm really, this is a moment of truth for me. Do we need to go to meditation or watch this movie with the family? What are we doing here? Right? What are we doing here? Yeah, ultimately family wins this time.
Even though we fall, we don't hold it there, and we have to move on. It's okay, it happened. Okay, it's okay. I learned and move on. But if we stuck there, we lose energy and time.
Exactly.
We also waste time.
Exactly. See that the way you talk at it, hey, I want to be part of Satsang, I want to do this, I want to do that, and all. And the way you do, they have to coordinate. Right? If you continuously trying or having opportunities and you are missing them consistently, then what you're saying, what you're doing, they are not in line. Then there's no truth for you at that point. And you're like, if doing is not happening in that sequence of things, right? What you're thinking, what you're talking, and what you're doing, they're not aligned. Things won't happen. Align. Exactly. So bring them together in that form. Once you understand the truth, try to talk about it. The more you talk about it, the more you listen to it. You have to associate yourself to truth all the time. 90% of our family, right? Family life is not truth. Or we all know that, right?
So I have one funny question. Like, if you know the truth means feel more soul, we should ask the questions. So we can ask some questions to truth means soul. We can ask. Yeah. Okay. How do we know our soul is saying truth?
Soul is truth. There is no saying truth. Soul itself is
You are
truth.
asking questions.
So what you are
ఇప్పుడు ఎట్లా అంటే ఇప్పుడు సార్ మీరు ఇందాక కంటెంప్లేషన్ తర్వాత మనం ఇంకేం లేదు యూనివర్సల్ క్వశ్చన్స్ అడిగితే మనకి ఆన్సర్స్ వస్తాయి అని చెప్పారు కదా సార్. అక్కడ ఏంటంటే తను ఏమనుకుంటున్నా అంటే ఓకే ఆన్సర్స్ వస్తున్నాయి, అది వచ్చేది ఆ యూనివర్స్ ఇస్తుందా లేకపోతే నాలో నుంచి వస్తున్నాయి నా మైండ్ చెప్తున్నారని ఎలా డిఫరెన్షియేట్ చేసుకునేది?
See the difference between the way you are hearing from your mind versus your heart. Once that answer comes to you, you really feel it. You will feel that response. Once you close your eyes and say whether it's coming from my heart or from mind, you will know it, right? Because mind will, it comes to your mind, right? Mind will be fickle, right? It gives you a response and immediately turns back and says, did I even say that? Did I say that? This fickleness will be there for mind. When it comes from your heart, which is the intuition, right? The sixth sense and all, there is no twisting and turning and all. It's a direct response. That's true.
Positive. Mind always tells negative, soul always tells positive.
Mind will play. Sometimes it gives positive but then becomes negative. You will know in that time, right? When it comes to you.
So yeah, that's
How
why
it
I'm
sticks.
asking, sometimes we receive that response. We think this is the truth,
Right.
means this is the right one.
Right.
But later point we come to know
Correct.
it was wrong.
Correct.
So
That's why don't just ask for one time and leave it, right? Ask it couple of times and make sure that the response is consistently coming to you. And then you know that, yes, this is true. Your heart will know that it's true, right? You got to be true to yourself at least. So
That's why we have
when I
to do
said,
more
right,
meditation.
yeah,
Then
do
it
more
will
meditation,
come.
intuition,
Pure, like,
the intuitional
when you
body.
do filter, right? Filter. Pure will come, God will come.
So coming back to my point, when I say family is not truth, it's a relative truth, right? We are all like-minded people settling here. The Vesti karma we talked about, right? That's why we are here. We are doing together. Journey is going on, but that has nothing to do with the absolute truth that I'm trying to find. But absolute truth is sitting somewhere else or sitting inside me somewhere. Right? For you to go to that, you don't need your family. You need to just work with your family to make sure that you have enough time. Every one of you has enough time to do your own individual penance. The reason why individual journey, usual, right? So, we are here together to help each other. That's why in the soul language, it is only friendship, compassion, love, friendship. That's all we need to show each other. When you have friendship, love, compassion, you accept the other individual as they are. You don't fight with them.
Yeah.
This is it, that's love, right? I mean, love is like unconditionally. You're accepting as they are. In that very moment, there is no fighting, there is no disagreements, there is no absolute nothing, right? Okay, you are what you are. I am what I am. Let's live together and make, get to truth. Now that requires a lot of energy, right? I mean, for you to go stand up in your family life and then say, hey, this is, we are friends. Your journey is your journey, my journey. I can help you, you can help me, kind of thing. So that is the reality. That's why Patriji says that, you don't have to run away from family. You don't have to go away somewhere else and do it. Because wherever you're going, you're carrying your mind. The thinking is always with you. So you better stay home and have some kind of agreement with the family. That, hey, next 1-2 hours, please don't disturb me. I'm here doing my thing. And then when you do your thing, you do your thing. I'll not disturb. So work out some schedules for your own family.
Yeah.
It's a never-ending discussion, but I think the point is, as you start to align towards the truth, a lot of things that you felt important today, you will start to feel that they are like, they really drag you. Looking back, and you will say, you should not look back, but when you look back, you will see that, okay, I really wasted my time. Sometimes years have passed by, you have not realized. Sometimes you go into practices that you felt like 20 years have gone by, but I don't know what to do, right? All those things are your journey where you are starting to realize that how do I come back to the main course? How do I come back to the main path? Right? Every one of us have walked this path of truth. Every one of us, whoever is in the PSSM, irrespective of what groups you are in, where you are doing, what you are doing, at some point you probably, because if you've seen Patriji's one video, you have seen truth, right? You know what is truth. We are all in that path, main path, right? But then everyone is deviated. How many of them are actually really walking the path of truth? There are only very less.
Through Patriji's words.
Patriji's words. So, because the way you need to look at him is, that's why I keep talking about it, right? Truth is not different than Patriji equal to truth, truth equal to Patriji. Right? We should not differentiate. If you are trying to differentiate, then you're not really understand the point, right? He started to talk about, teach truth, show them, hey, this is how it is. People didn't get it. Then he started living that. He's been living. That's why, never follow yourself to say that I want to become Patriji. You can never become Patriji. You can take his direction and follow his guidance to get to the truth that he got into. Right? He's a very high level master, and you are trying to ఆయనని అనుకరించడానికి వెళ్ళారనుకోండి, అనుకరించలేము. ఆ ఎనర్జీస్ లో ఉన్న ఆయనని అనుకరించడం కుదరదు, కింద పడతాం. అది మన స్వధర్మం కాదు. నా స్వధర్మం ఏంటి అంటే, నా సత్యాన్ని, నాకు తెలిసిన సత్యాన్ని నేను చూసి ఆ సత్యం గురించి తెలుసుకుని అది నేను అవ్వాలి. అది నేను అవ్వడానికి ఈ మహానుభావులు ఇట్లా పత్రిజీ లాంటి వాళ్ళు చెప్పిన మాటలు నాకు స్ఫూర్తినివ్వాలి. అది నన్ను ముందుకు నడిపించాను. అంతేగాని నేను ఆయనలాగా ఉంటానంటే ఆయనలాగా ఉన్నా కుదరదు. చాలా మంది ఏంటంటే, యూ హ్యావ్ టు బీ లుకింగ్ ఎట్ Patriji, యూ హ్యావ్ టు బికమ్ దట్. యూ కెనాట్ బికమ్ Patriji. యూ కెన్ నెవర్ బికమ్ Patriji. యూ కెన్ ఓన్లీ ఫాలో హిస్ గైడెన్స్. ఆయన చెప్పిన మాటలను పట్టుకుని, ఆ పదాలను పట్టుకుని, ఇలా చెప్పారు, ఇలా ఉంటుంది అని మన లైఫ్ లో అది అన్వయం చేసుకోవాలి. మళ్ళీ నీ స్వధర్మాన్ని వదిలేసి వెళ్ళిపోవు. ఆయన నేచర్ లో మెడిటేషన్ చేయండి అంటే నువ్వు వదిలేసి నేచర్ లో ఉంటే, ఫ్యామిలీ వదిలేసి కుదరదు, అట్లా ఉండదు. యూ నీడ్ టు బ్రింగ్ ఇట్ బ్యాక్, రిలేటెడ్ టు యువర్ సర్కమ్స్టాన్సెస్. The truth, how do you look at it, and then walk that path. So appudu em avutundi, you will divert, right? Every one of us will divert, but then how soon you come back is where it is, right? Good. Any last question?
మెడిటేషన్ అండి నాకు ఇట్స్ లైక్ నేను చాలా అంటే అవేర్గా ఉండడానికి చాలా ట్రై చేస్తాను. అది నేను ఎప్పుడు ఐ డోంట్ నో ఇఫ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ డీప్, అది స్లీప్ అని కూడా అనుకోలేను. ఎందుకంటే సమ్ టైమ్ మధ్యలో నాకు కొన్ని వర్డ్స్ వినిపిస్తాయి, మళ్ళీ కరెక్ట్ ఎండ్ వచ్చేసరికి మళ్ళీ అది అంటే ఐ బి అవేర్, ఓకే అయిపోయింది. కానీ ఆ మధ్యలో ప్రాసెస్ నాకు అది నేను ఎక్కడ ఉంటానో నాకు తెలియట్లేదు. అది ఏంటి అసలు, నిద్రనా లేకపోతే అసలు నాకు ఇంకా ఎనర్జీస్ పెంచుకోవాలా?
ఏంటంటే అన్కాన్షియస్ లెవెల్లో ఉంటది మెడిటేషన్, రైట్? అంటే స్లీపింగ్ ఈజ్ అన్కాన్షియస్ మెడిటేషన్ అంటారు కదా. సో అన్కాన్షియస్ లో ఉండొచ్చు మీకు ఒకటి. సెకండ్ థింగ్ ఏంటంటే, మీకు డీప్ ప్రాసెస్ ఏదో నడుస్తున్నప్పుడు యూ మే నాట్ బి అవేర్ ఆఫ్, అది కూడా ఉంటుంది. సో ఇట్ డిపెండ్స్ అపాన్ వాట్ నాడీ మండలంలో లోపల సెల్యులర్ లెవెల్లో మార్పులు ఉన్నప్పుడు you will not probably feel those, right? It's happening inside of you. You're like trance lo unnattuntundi atla.
Idro something edo itla magic cheseste inka nenu ekkada unna type lo untundi.
So adi energy, it's all energies lo unnappudu ala anipistuntadi, local process nadustundi. So I mean, you are fine. There is no this way or that way, right? As long as something is happening, it's happening, right? It's not you are doing.
Yeah.
You are fine. I mean, you will come out of it over time as you keep doing
I'm waiting because I wanted to be aware the entire time anamata. Entire time, because sometimes guided చేస్తూ ఉంటాను. So initially like 5-10 minutes 50 నాకు అదంతా నాకు ఓకే వింటా ఉంటాను. But I don't know, like నాకు తెలియకుండానే నేను ఏదో మ్యాజిక్ ఇట్లా ఏదో వచ్చి కప్పేసినట్టు అయిపోతుంది. బట్ ఎండ్ లో మళ్ళీ నేను ఓకే అయిపోతుంది అన్నప్పుడు మళ్ళీ
మీరు అనుకోవచ్చు. ఇట్లా మీరు గైడెడ్ లో వింటుంటే జానంలో కూర్చోగానే ఐ నీడ్ టు బి అవేర్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ ఎంటైర్ ప్రాసెస్ అనుకోవచ్చు.
యా అనుకుంటానండి చాలా అసలు ఇప్పుడు యూనో ఐ థింక్ అ లాట్ నేను ఉండాలి ఇప్పుడు అవే ఉండాలి అనుకుంటా.
అంటే ఇంటెన్షన్ ఇవ్వాలి.
ఓకే
అట్లా అనుకోవడం కాదు, అట్లా ఏదో అనుకోవడం కాదు. ఫస్ట్ మెడిటేషన్ లో కూర్చోగానే ఇంటెన్షన్ రిలీజ్ చేయాలి.
ఓకే
I want to be aware in this next
Entire
45 minutes, entire process. So I want to be aware. Then you will always be aware. Then that becomes another block next. ఏంటంటే లోపలికి వెళ్తున్నాను, ఆడే ఉన్నా, అంత కనపడుతుంది, తెలుస్తుంది, ఏమవుతుందో తెలుసలేదు. సో అప్పుడు మళ్ళీ బ్యాక్ రావు. సో అది సో sometimes it happens this way, sometimes it happens that way. But both are okay. I mean, there is nothing wrong అనే కాన్సెప్ట్ లేదు కదా. ఇప్పుడు ఎక్కువ చేయడం is always good, because the more meditation you do, the faster the process is complete, right? That will always help. But కాకపోతే ఏంటంటే if you really want to feel what is happening నాకు అంటే ఆ అవేర్నెస్ ఇమ్మని అడిగితే, ఇంటెన్షన్ ఫస్ట్ లో అడిగితే వస్తాయి.
Okay, I will try that.
Yeah.
కానీ అది మాస్టర్ మెడిటేషన్ లో సపోజ్ 2 hours కూర్చుంటే ఒక 10 minutes తర్వాత ఇట్లా హ్యాండ్స్ బైండ్ అయిపోయినట్టు ఎనర్జీస్ వచ్చినట్టు అనిపిస్తుంది. ఓవరాల్ 2 hours లో చూసుకుంటే అది జస్ట్ కపుల్ ఆఫ్ మినిట్స్ అలా అనిపిస్తుంది. హ్యాండ్స్ టైట్ అయినట్టు చాలా టైమే అనిపిస్తుంది, బట్ లైట్ అయిపోయి బాడీ అంతా ఎట్లనో వెళ్తున్నట్టు జస్ట్ ఒక ఫ్యూ సెకండ్స్ అలా అనిపిస్తుంది నాకైతే.
అంతే. అంటే ఏంటంటే ఆ ఎక్యుములేషన్ అవ్వాలి కదా. ఇప్పుడు 2 hours మీరు ఒక రోజు పూజ చేసుకుని నేను యాస్ట్రల్ ట్రావెల్ చేయాలంటే సో దానికి ఏంటంటే you don't have to physically go anymore. If you are really meditating only ante, you can release your astral body, send it there, and get the information whatever you need, and then come back and stay as if nothing happened. అప్పట్లో ఫస్ట్ లో ఉండేది ఇవన్నీ ఉండేవి. అంటే ఇట్లా కొంచెం ఉంటుంది కదా.
I really want to experience that.
అనద్దు మన ట్రూత్ truth is the one that you want to stick to, right? Everything else will come go, but truth is the one you want to stick to. కొన్ని అంటే ఆ అనుభవం వల్ల ఏం తెలుస్తుంది అంటే you will transcend the phase of death. With that experience you will transcend the phase of death. ఎందుకంటే ఇప్పుడు now you have really experienced that if death do happens, it is only happening to my physical body. I just release my astral body. I went there, I went this, I went to my sky, 200 feet above, right? I went to moon. I can go anywhere and everywhere, right? So now you know that you're more than physical entity. So you transcend the death. Death will not bother you anymore. So it's an experience that you want to get. You can build it. But then adi truth. మళ్ళీ దానికి మళ్ళీ మీకు దానికి మళ్ళీ ఎనర్జీస్ కావాలి, దానికి మళ్ళీ యూ నీడ్ టు బ్రింగ్ లాట్ ఆఫ్ థింగ్స్ టుగెదర్ అండ్ ఆల్ We'll start meditation, Anand.
Yeah.
Everyone, we'll start meditation now. Start meditation. Lights off chesi. Sit comfortably. నేను ఆఫ్ చేస్తాను మేడం, మీరు కూర్చోండి, మీరు స్టార్ట్ చేయండి మెడిటేషన్, నేను ఆఫ్ చేస్తాను. మీరు చూసుకుంటే అదే స్టార్ట్ చేస్తే మళ్ళీ ఆఫ్ చేయొచ్చు. సుఖ స్థిర ఆసనంలో కూర్చున్నాం. Sit very comfortably in your best postures. సోఫాలో కూర్చో బ్రదర్, కూర్చో. మీరు కూర్చుంటారండి, కూర్చోండి. Sit comfortably wherever you feel comfortable. Sit comfortably. We'll get started.
ఇక్కడ తెచ్చేసుకొని కూర్చోండి, ఆ రెండు కూర్చోవచ్చు, చాలా బాగుంది, కంఫర్టబుల్. ఆ రెండు కుర్చీలు తీసేసి ఇక్కడ కూర్చోండి. భారతి గారు
Start చేయాలి. Close your eyes. Bring your attention to your breath. Slowly. Sit comfortably, my dear masters. Slowly bring your attention to your breath. Our breath is our guru. Please. సుఖ స్థిర ఆసనంలో కూర్చుందాం. ఎక్కడ ఎలాంటి ఒడిదుడుకులు లేకుండా హాయిగా శరీరాన్ని మనస్సుని హాయిగా ప్రశాంతంగా ఉంచుకుంటూ, శరీరాన్ని రిలాక్స్డ్ గా ఉంచుకుందాం. మనస్సుని ప్రశాంతంగా ఉంచుకోవడానికి ఒక ప్యూర్ సంకల్పాన్ని రిలీజ్ చేసుకుందాం హాయిగా. శూన్యమే మన యొక్క లక్షణంగా, శ్వాసయే మన యొక్క ధ్యాసగా, ధ్యానమే మన యొక్క క్రియగా, సహజ సిద్ధంగా మనలో జరుగుతున్న ఆ ఉచ్ఛ్వాస నిశ్వాసలని, శ్వాస ప్రశ్వాసాలని పూరక రేచకాలను గమనిస్తూ మనలో ఉన్న ఆంతర చైతన్యాన్ని మేలుకొలుపుతూ ధ్యానానికి ఉపక్రమిద్దాం మిత్రులారా. Let us align to our consciousness to become one with the energies. Let us transcend beyond the BMI and be aware. పూర్తి ఎరుకతో ధ్యానం చేద్దాం మిత్రులారా. పూర్తి ఎరుకతో శ్వాస మీద ధ్యాస. Be with your breath. Be with your breath. Be with your breath. Thank you, masters. Anyone would like to share experience or any questions? Any questions? Baguన్నాయి? బాగా అనిపించిందా?
And first time ఇంతసేపు without music or guided అంటే without music basically.
నిజమే కదా, నేను మ్యూజిక్ లేదన్న విషయం కూడా నేను నాకు అసలు తెలియదు.
గ్రూప్ ఎనర్జీస్. యాస్ట్రల్ ట్రావెల్ చేశారు ఎవరైనా?
ఇక్కడ ట్రావెల్ విపరీతమైన కాళ్ళు
నొప్పులు అంటే మంచిది.
ఆవళంతులు గొంతులో నుంచి వస్తుంది.
మంచిది.
అంటే
నెగిటివ్ ఎనర్జీ పోతుంది బయట. నెగిటివ్ ఎనర్జీ బయటకు వెళ్ళిపోతుంది. మంచిది.
లేట్ వచ్చేస్తుంది.
కాళ్ళు నొప్పులు అంటే అది నాడీ మండలం. నాడీ మండల శుద్ధి.
ఎంత ఏడ్పంటే వాటి క్రైమ్ పెద్దగా ఏడవాలనిపించింది.
నైస్ నైస్. ఏడవాలనిపించి నైస్ అంటున్నాం ఏంద్ర అనుకోవద్దు. దట్స్ హౌ ఇట్ ఈస్. అంటే those energies, whatever it is supposed to come in your life, it's going through meditation. It's dissolving. Karma పోతుంది.
కర్మ అయింది. అదే గట్టిగా కూర్చో 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 అని ఎందుకంటారా? We don't have to do anything. Just కూర్చుంటేనే పోతాయి అనేది కొత్తగా చెప్పాలి. కూర్చుంటే కర్మలు పోతాయి అని చెప్పాలి.
Today most of the time I was aware. Intention
పెట్టుకున్నారా? You'll be aware.
My head, I could feel like it was
Exactly.
going back and forth.
ధ్యానం జరగబడింది. We didn't do anything. ధ్యానం జరిగింది. జస్ట్ గమనిస్తున్న ఈ బాడీని, లోపల ఉన్న పరమాత్మ ఈ బాడీని గమనిస్తూ ఉంది. వాట్ ఎవర్ ఇట్ ఈస్ గోయింగ్ త్రూ. దట్ ఈస్ ద యాక్చువల్లీ అంటే వేదాంత ప్రకారం గమనించాలి అంటారు.
గమనిక ఆత్మ లక్షణం.
మైండ్ ఏమో గమనించడానికి ఇష్టపడే ఆత్మ. సో హియర్ ఇట్స్ ఆత్మ.
All right. Online, we will take a leave now. We'll close out the satsang tonight and then we'll see you all tomorrow. Have a wonderful evening. Take care. Bye-bye. Good night. Good morning, India. Good morning, India. Bye.